Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am back with another easy quilt block. We're going to do something a tiny bit different today. We will be making half square triangles because those are so versatile. But instead of making two out of two pieces of fabric like we normally do, we're going to be doing four. I have done that in a beginner video. I can link to that down below if you want to see a close-up of how that's done. But it's very easy. I don't think you actually need to go watch that. I will show you here. But it makes four half square triangles. The thing is, for each block, we only need 3 half square triangles, but you can put one aside, and then after you do this process 2 more times, you'll have 3 leftovers, and those 3 will go into another block. So we will need one more piece to make a block with 3 half square triangles, and that's going to be just a single square of fabric in one of the colors that you choose. You only need 2 colors. I'm going to wait until my half square triangles are done so I know what size they are, and then I will cut my additional square. So I am starting with 8-inch squares. You can do this with any size squares you want. You put your 2 pieces right sides together, and instead of making a line and sewing on each side of the diagonal, we are going to go and sew 1/4 inch in all the way around. Easy as that. I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. I will try to show you. You can see the thread. I just went around the entire block. Don't get so caught up in whether or not it's 1/4 inch. What's more important is that you're just consistent with every block. I just use the edge of my foot as a guide. I don't care what part of an inch it is. It's the easiest way, and that's what I go with. Now we are going to cut this into 4 pieces. We're going to cut on the diagonal each way. No lines to be drawn. We're just going to put our ruler on the diagonal and cut this way. And I'm just going to turn my mat and cut this way. Now we have 4 pieces, and I'm just going to go and press them all open. And now we have 4 half square triangles that all match. We will put one aside. Like I said, after you do this 3 times, you'll have 3 leftovers and you can make another block. Now you need to make a choice. We're going to be putting 2 blocks together for the top part of this block, and we want to form a point going down. See, now we have the pink going down. The point is going to be a tiny bit more prominent in the quilt because we will have another extra block matching that point. So you need to decide which color you want to have be a little bit more prominent. I actually want the blue to be more prominent, so I am going to make my point out of blue. It's a little tricky. I haven't cut my little corners yet. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So again, whatever color you want to be more prominent, make that be the point. This piece, you want whatever color your point going down is, you want that color to be pointing to the bottom right, like this. It almost looks like we're making a chevron block, which we could make if we did this. I actually have a video on that, but in this case, we're not doing that. Now, like I said, we need one more piece here. My point going down is blue, so now I'm going to cut just a square of blue. Before I did that, I wanted to see how big my squares were going to be. So let's move these up. And if you want, you can measure and then, cut a bunch of your squares, or you can just even, take your ruler and, do that, go all the way around. So I'm just going to cut my blue square. I'll be right back. My half square triangles came out to about a perfect 5 1/4, but yours might vary in size depending on your seam allowance. That's why you don't want to bother cutting your single square until you know how big your half square triangles come out. So this is going to be the block. I'm going to sew these two together, and then I will sew those together. And once again, whatever color you decide for the V pointing down, that's the color of your single square, and that color also is going to be on the bottom right, if you're looking at it like I am. This is your view. Okay, going to the machine, sewing these two together. Then I will send these two through. I'll be right back. I have these sewn together. Do not panic if your point is not perfect, because we are going to be sewing these two together now, and it can just get caught up in the seam allowance and it'll look good enough. So that's what I'm going to go do. Put these on top of each other, sew right there. And that's it. We are done. This is the block. And I haven't, trimmed it. It came out pretty good. I could trim just a tiny little bit right here. And of course, I'm going to cut off those little corners. And my point, you can see, it's far from perfect. But it is good enough. That's all I need, is good enough. So let's put this on the quilt board and see what I can come up with. Please subscribe so you don't miss any future quilt blocks or any of the other crazy videos that I do. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!